everyone, welcome back to UK Scrap Addicts. This is Maria with you today, and I've got a very quick layout for you today. This month's topic is all about clustering, and I have to be honest with you, clustering is not something that I do very often, and when I do, I always keep them very busy. Sorry, the contrary, I keep them very simple, sorry, not very busy at all. And but today, because the topic is clustering, I wanted to make sure that the clusters were busy enough, they were recognizable. I am using an old Amy Tangerine collection called Plus One. I bought these ages ago, and I have used it a bit, but not too much. And I thought these papers worked very, very well with this photo of my son. So I'm gonna keep the design very simple. I'm not following a sketch or anything today. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make all my embellishments. I'm gonna make them out of paper. There was a conversation just recently on the Lottie Loves Paper Facebook group about it was one of these questions, if you could have an unlimited supply of paper or of embellishments, which one would you choose? And I said of paper, because you can always make your own embellishments with paper, whereas with embellishments, yeah, an unlimited supply of embellishments would be amazing, but it's not so versatile. Paper is much more versatile, in which you can make your embellishments. So I wanted to make a point today of not using many embellishments, like ready bought embellishments at all. So I'm going to be using just this collection. I'm not going to be using much more. And as you can see, I'm just fussy cutting. I fussy cut the word adventure from one of the cards, Project Life cards. And I'm also going to be fussy cutting other elements like stars and cameras and those little green hexagon shapes that you can see on the pattern paper on the sides. And so yeah, and I'm adding a bit of washi tape and a few other bits and pieces, as you will see in the process video. So yeah, clustering, as I said, is not something that comes naturally to me. I don't do it very often, and so I did struggle a tiny bit with this video. Even when I finished, I wasn't even sure if I had done it right. I had to go and ask, excuse me, do you know, can you point me in the direction of one that so I can see that what I've done is right? But yeah, no, I shouldn't have double guessed myself, because as it turns out, I did it right. So yeah, as you can see, I'm keeping this layout very simple. I want the clusters to be kind of like the focal point of the layout. So I'm quite happy how this is looking. I'm going ahead and I'm committing and just gluing everything down. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory really, guys. So I'll tell you a bit more about the photo maybe. So the photo is of my son. He's playing on this handmade type of swing, like a tie-on hanging from the tree type of thing. We were at a birthday party, and he went to the back of the garden, where he shouldn't have gone really, because it was at the back of the bouncy castle, and I don't think the owners of the house were kind of expecting anyone to go there, but he did, being nosy as he is. And he found this swing, and it was like the highlight of his day. It was the best thing ever. He's never had so much fun in a swing in his life, and I have no idea why, because it wasn't going very fast or anything. I don't know. I think he just loved the fact that it was just him on his own there. He was keeping away from the other children in the party, and he can be a bit shy, despite the fact that the party was of one of his best friends from nursery. I don't think he wanted to know really. So he found this swing and he loved it. So here I am. I'm already gluing down my first cluster. I've done some washi. I did cut this frame, the black frame, and then I've done some washi, then a little label, the word adventure. Now I'm cutting these hexagons from the pattern paper, which brings in a bit from the pattern on the sides of, and yeah, and that's pretty much my first cluster done. And now I'm gonna go ahead and work on the second one. I thought for a little bit that clusters had to have the same elements, so if I've used a star on the one under the photo. I needed to use another star at the top. However, when looking through my papers, I didn't have another star to cut, so I was a bit like, oh goodness, maybe I should have used an element that I could have repeated in a couple of places. But as it turns out, there are no rules really. You can, as long as you're taking several elements and you layering them together, that counts as a cluster. So there are no rules really. And but yeah, I have cut another one of those hexagons, and which is different color, so it's the same element but it's a bit different. And I will also be doing one of these cameras. At the beginning of the video, I don't know if you noticed, I cut some of the little cameras that are at the back of the photo. I cut like a little strip and I was gonna put it there, but I didn't in the end. Now I'm gonna cut a heart, and I go to the same hexagon paper to find some green, because I want to bring some of the green, and then I also thought about bringing another heart in the bottom, in the cluster at the bottom, but I didn't in the end because it was already looking quite busy for my liking. As I said at the beginning, I don't do clustering, and when I do, I keep it quite basic. So I didn't want to force it, if you know what I mean. And apart from that, I am going to do some journaling, telling the story of how my son loved the swing, and it was the highlight of the day. And other than that, I'm just gonna add a couple of enamel shapes. Yeah, there they are. They're from the U-Rock collection, and they're not fully black. They're like a very dark brown, but doesn't matter. I quite like them. I thought of adding some other enamel shapes, but I left it at just that. And I'm adding my journaling, and that's it. Thank you for joining me today. Please remember that this month's challenge is for you guys to create a layout or a traveler's notebook or a pocket page with clusters, at least 3 clusters. Our sponsor this month is Thompson's Craft Supplies, and they are very generously offering a £30 voucher. So get your layouts together and your pages and send them over, and you're in a chance for winning. Thank you guys. See you around very soon.